Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put these cutout slabs together. You can see that I have 4 of these. Okay, and we are going to score and slip 2 different areas on these. So we're going to score and slip the side of one, okay, and this is going to line up right here. So it's going to, you think about like the walls that would go together, it's going to curve and go together, okay, even though it doesn't seem like that. But if you think about it, you're going to have to score and slip right here on the side, and you're going to need to score and slip on the back of this one, okay? So those are going to go together. You can use this scoring rib. You don't want to poke with it or like cut with it. You just want to put a lot of texture on here back and forth. These things are amazing. Okay, so you can see the texture that is on that. Okay, so I have the side of one, and then I'm going to have to think about this. I want the design on the outside, okay? I'm going to need the back of this one. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, do the same thing here. And it's a good idea to have those coils. That's what I was working on or having you guys do, was have coils that are ready. So when you score and slip them, you don't have to have your partner who's holding this wait a long time. They can just give you a coil and help you put it in there, okay? So same thing, this coil needs to be scored and slipped. Okay, and then you'll be ready to go. Okay, so I've got this scored and slipped. I have these scored, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing and put some slip on these. Okay, you've got to dot this. If you blend all of those scratch marks away, then it's not going to stick. Okay, so we've got that. So I'm going to look from the inside of this, but I'm going to hold these straight up. Okay, and you can see how this is where they naturally touch. Okay, just if they're both standing straight up. So I'm going to kind of push right here and tack that area. And then this part down at the bottom is going to have to bend. Okay, now if you look from this direction, how this is bent, or from this direction, okay, you can see how the slab is no longer straight up and down. Okay, it's going to have to curve in. Okay, and this is why you need somebody helping you. Okay, so this is going to curve, and let me flip to the other side, and you can see from over here. Okay, so same thing. You can see this part where it's combined. It's on the side of it. Okay, now the top of this one is wider than the bottom. Okay, so sometimes it's easier to go ahead and flip this and put this together upside down. Okay, you'll be able to flip it later, but it stays better like this. Okay, and then you're going to need that reinforcing coil in here to help stabilize this. You're also going to have to think about this needs to be a 90 degree. It's very common that when you first put this together that this looks more like a triangle. Okay, you've got to open this up to make sure that you can get all 4 of those in there, because this is going to make a square. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and I'm going to put this in the corner. I've got a support back here to like press this in. This is going to create a curve in that wall. Okay, and it's going to help it stay together. It's going to make it stronger. But I've got a support back here as I press this coil in. Okay, and so this is where having another set of hands as something wants to bend or move is a good thing. Okay, so I have that inside here. I'm going to take off my extra, and then I'm going to blend half of it to the right side and half of it to the left. Okay, and so this should go pretty quick. Okay, but you might need someone that's holding the outside of it so you can get this blended. Okay, and you could smooth this out more, but this will work. Okay, so that's scored and slipped and put together. So now I'm ready to put another one on, and this is where lots of problems come up because we're trying to make this a square. Okay, and so we have a pattern that we have to make. And here we go, here it is. If you look at this, you have, if you're looking just on this side, let's see if I can make this where you can see it from here. As you're looking at the side of this pot, you can see a short side, right? This is the side of this wall, and then a long side. Okay, and so you should see that on every side that you're looking on. Okay, so when I turn it over here, I should see the same pattern. So if you think about it, if you look at this, okay, I have short and then long, right? So then when I turn it, okay, on this side, I should see the same thing, short and then long. Okay, because our pattern was one shape. Okay, and this is how we have to do this to make this be a square. Okay, because we only made one pattern and cut out all 4 pieces. So think about that as you turn it. Again, short, long. Turn it again, short, long. Okay, now it could be the opposite of this where it was like short over here and then the longer piece on this side because it could rotate the other direction. Okay, but you've got to think about this as you're putting it together. Okay, because you don't want to have to put another wall on or like take it off and put it back on. Okay, so I'm looking at this side. I need another wall, and so I'm seeing this as the short side right here. So I need a piece that's going to go right here for my long side. Okay, so I'm going to score and slip the back of this one. Okay, and then I'm thinking of this one. How does this fit into this? So I'm doing the side. Okay, so I would need the side of this one scored and slipped. Okay, so same thing. You should have a coil ready. You'll score and slip what is going to touch. And really, once you get that third wall on, it's more stable. But you still need that person to help just in case. Okay, so you can line this up. You have to press from the outside, press that side one on, and then it will have to curve, and you kind of have to think right up here, this should be a square. Okay, and then I'm going to put that next coil on the inside, just like I did before. I'm going to score and slip. Okay, I've got one that I have that's scored and slipped. I'm going to have to score and slip inside here, which this is kind of dark, but we're just going to put one in there and keep going. You saw how to do this the first time. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. Remember, if you push too hard, you'll pop this, so you really have to keep this, keep something on the outside so you don't push through. Okay, so that would get blended. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that I blended that part. So if I look from the side of this, I have my, let's see if I can pick this up, short right here and then long. So same thing, I turn, I see short and then long. So I need to turn this, and I'm thinking this is going to have to be on the inside of this one. And then this is going to have to be on the outside of this one. And if you are unsure and if you want to just double check, then raise your hand and let me come look. Okay? It's not a big deal to get another opinion on where it should go. Okay? Because it can be confusing. Okay, so I've got this scored and slipped. I've got the places that line up. I guess I have them slipped. Let me put some, or scored. I'm going to put some slip on these. So dot it on, make sure it doesn't come off. If you're having problems getting the walls to stick, then it is probably a couple of things. You have either not scored enough, okay, where you don't have enough texture. You haven't, your pot is too dry, like the slabs are too dry. You've erased all the scoring marks. Okay, there can be quite a few things, or you haven't pressed on good enough. Okay, so this wall, you can see the short part and the long. So then I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to press as far as I can down. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, get the bottom of this put together. So now this is strong. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and look at it from the top. And you can see like how this isn't put together yet. And so this would just need to be like bent, and you would combine those walls. Okay, so you can see that this is a square. Can't get my camera up high enough. On the top and the bottom, I would need coils on the inside of all of these. But right now, it's more important that we get your partner's project put together than you getting these two in right now, okay? You want to stop at this point, go help them, and then come back and get these other two coils put together, because it's going to be the same thing with them. Once they get this done, then you're basically on your own again.